time again for another well baby visit to the doctor. As you prepare yourself and the baby to go to the clinic, you might be thinking of what questions to ask during this appointment. As far as you know, your baby is doing well without any issues. But at the same time, you don't want to miss anything, right? Well, I took care of that for you, moms and dads. I prepared this video so you will know the developmental skills at this age, infant normal behavior and feeding patterns, and safety concerns you might have, so that you can create a good point of discussion with a pediatrician if your baby is not meeting any of these milestones. Welcome to Mother Baby Central, your resource for transformational information about pregnancy, postpartum, newborn care, and baby's first year of life. This is part 3 of a 7-part series of well baby appointments in the first year of life. It is standard to always get measurements every visit. Therefore, the first thing the medical assistant does is to measure the weight, length, and head circumference while the baby is lying on the examination table. This information will be entered into the World Health Organization growth chart to clearly see the trajectory of the baby's growth. Vital signs will also be taken, including the heart rate, the respiratory rate, and the temperature. Then the pediatrician comes in and will discuss with you the baby's physical growth, comparing body measurements with the appropriate age and growth specific for each gender. I know you are curious what percentile your baby is at 2 months of age, but don't focus too much on that because there are factors to consider, such as parental status. Meaning, if the parents are not tall people, I don't think you'll expect a long baby. As long as there is growth or improvement or increase in the measurement from the last visit, then there should be no issues. More so, the nutritional aspect of the baby is based on the improvement or increase in these numbers. Therefore, it is also something to be looked at more closely if there is stunted growth shown on the chart. The doctor will ask if you have any concerns at all. This is a good time to get your questions answered, as this is probably the longest time during the visit on making sure your issues are addressed. For your information purposes, 30 minutes usually is allotted time for each well baby visit. Of course, this varies if there are more in-depth discussion about your baby's health, but normally a 30-minute visit is reserved. Part of the anticipatory guidance is the doctor asking you about postpartum depression and/or anxiety, food and living conditions, domestic violence, and overall family well-being, including sibling relationships. Be upfront and honest if there are problems. The doctor has resources to refer you if there are, for example, food assistance for the baby in the family if food is the issue. Now let's go to the checklist to see if your baby is meeting all or some of the skills of a 2-month-old baby. The first one is baby can now smile and make cooing sounds. Isn't that precious? Your baby can now respond to you by smiling and talking to you. So adorable. Number 2, a month ago, when you put your baby on tummy time, the baby only lifts the chin. Now the baby is able to lift the head and the chest off from the floor. When you put the baby in a sitting position, of course supported, because the baby is still not able to sit independently at this age, the baby can hold the head steady. Number 3, the baby opens and closes the hands and holds hands together for a short period of time. Okay, moms and dads, how is your baby doing with regard to these skills? Is your baby doing all of these or just some? Now that you learn about it, you can discuss with the doctor if your baby is falling behind and make some plans on how to help your baby achieve them sooner than later. Now let's dive into what you, moms and dads, should be doing at home to support your baby's development. Again, when your baby is awake, tummy time. Not all babies love the tummy time though, so I made a dedicated video on how to make tummy time fun. So you can check it out after watching this video. You need to make sure to do this activity many times during the day when the baby is awake, alert, and happy. This strengthens the muscle of the head, the neck, and the back, and prevent the flattening of the head and stiffening of the neck, called Plagiocephaly and Torticollis, respectively. No TV or any media. Your baby's environment is enough stimulation for their senses. Actually, do not buy all the toys you see in Target or Amazon. That is just an additional expense you don't need to be spending on. Diapers and formula, if you're bottle feeding, takes so much from the budget. So I'd advise you to spend your money wisely on the stuff that is more important, the must-haves. Another reminder is never shake your baby. This is the most common form of child abuse. Learn how to calm and soothe your baby. What's as important is learning how to calm your baby is how to calm yourself too. If a baby's nonstop crying is getting to you, find ways on how to adapt with these. Soothe your baby by gently rocking softly and gently stroking their body. I heard some parents put the baby in the car seat and drive around the neighborhood until the baby falls asleep. So you can try that too. These interventions can help with a very upset baby. Of course, you have to make sure that the baby has been fed and diaper has been changed. What do you think, moms and dads, aunties, uncles, grandma and grandpa? Do you have any other suggestions to calm and soothe a very upset baby? Leave some comments below and share your helpful tips too. Let's talk about feeding. For breastfeeding babies, continue to do so until at least 6 months of age. Do around 8 to 12 feedings a day or feed every 3 hours and burp halfway and at the end of each feeding. Know the hunger cues and when the baby is full. There should be like 5 to 6 wet and 3 to 4 poopy diapers in a day. No supplementing with water. That is a pro tip, by the way. Don't forget the vitamin D drops, and moms eat healthy, nutritious foods. Take your prenatal vitamins and iron supplements if your OB doctor tells you to do so. For bottle feeding babies, feed around 3 to 4 ounces of formula every 3 to 4 hours. Burp in between and at the end of the feeding. Make sure you know how to prepare the formula and clean and sanitize the bottles properly. Please hold your baby upright. Never leave your baby lying on the crib and propping the bottle when feeding. Let us review the safety. Number 1, never leave your baby alone in the tub when bathing or when on the changing table. Make sure you always have one hand on the baby when you're grabbing things like a diaper or wipes when changing, or grabbing some soap or washcloth when bathing. Number 2, the baby should be sleeping alone on the crib or on their back, never on the side or stomach. Number 3, use the car seat when traveling. Number 4, write down all the emergency numbers and put them in a designated place, like in front of the refrigerator. Number 5, learn how to perform infant CPR. After all the safety things are discussed, the doctor will perform the physical assessment. Then at the end of the visit, the 2-month vaccines will be given. These are the second dose of hepatitis B, the first dose of DTaP or diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis or whooping cough, the first dose of Haemophilus influenza or Hib, the first dose of polio vaccine, the first dose of pneumococcal vaccine or PCV13, and then the first dose of rotavirus vaccine, which is the only vaccine given by mouth. Baby will receive a total of 3 shots because some of the vaccines I just mentioned are combined. The combination vaccine is called Pediatrician. It's a combination of DTaP, Hep B, and IPV. So to recap, there are 3 injections: the Pediatrician, the Haemophilus influenza, and the PCV13, and 1 given by mouth, which is the rotavirus. Pro tips: after receiving vaccines, your baby might be irritable for 24 hours after vaccine administration and might eat less or get more sleepy. So there will be a lot of holding and cuddling after the doctor's visit. There might be some soreness, redness, and tenderness on the injection site. Just apply a cold compress where they gave the injection. If the baby develops a slight fever, ask the pediatrician how much Tylenol you can give. Report any other unusual symptoms to the doctor if there are any. All right, the 2-month well baby visit is again complete. The next time you go back is when your baby turns 4 months old, so make sure to make an appointment before you leave. If you find value in our content for today, don't be shy and click on the subscribe button. Let's spread the word and share transformational information to those who think you need it. Be well, everyone, and make sure to make this day count. Happy watching!